What is up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom and become the rock star agent in your market. And we have a rock star with us. No, not Greg. We have someone much better. The evil bald ninja is here. And then we have Linzee Soprani that's hopping on with us right now. We're going to talk all about, we're going to talk about like staffing and recruiting and building teams and how to hire people and some of the pitfalls of that. So we'll get to her in a second. We'll get to Gene in a second. But first, my illustrious colleague, the junior grandmaster himself, is in the house. Greg, what's up today?
Here I am, Johnson. What are your other two wishes? Okay, So it's Friday, and I got to tell you, man, I'm going to a Giants game tonight with my girl. My good buddy's going to be joining me. He and I are both founding members at the Gotham Club over at the Giants Stadium, which is this private club in the out in the outfield area, private bar, eating area, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the T. Diddy, the Grandmaster, is finally fucking getting the numbers done on the $10 million home, which I had to browbeat him for, which I'm like, $10 million house, man. Get your shit together. But besides that, I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good. I'm glad. And why did you have to browbeat your dad for the numbers?
Because he runs on Terry time, dude. Okay. Not like normal time. It's Terry time. And that's like, hey, you're supposed to be there at 11. Hey, Dad, are you going to go to the meeting? Yeah, I'm leaving right now. Dad, it's 11. I know. It's a 20-minute drive. I know. Fuck.
All right. Well, let's. I know you're having issues with your camera this morning, but let's bring in the guest, and then I have a question for you guys. So first of all, Linzee Soprani. Linzee, what's up today? Can you hear us?
Hey, I can. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Awesome, man. Right, yeah, exactly. Like right in under the wire, you're able to jump on and zero tech issues, which is awesome.
I had some tech issues, so I'm late. Sorry.
That's all right. So, Linzee, why don't you just quickly share kind of where you're at, what you do, so people that if they didn't catch your first appearance, they kind of know who you are.
Yeah. So, Linzee Soprani, I have a real estate team that's under the umbrella of Keller Williams called Roundtable Real Estate. We also have Soprani Consulting, which hires and trains all things real estate. Very simple.
Cool. And we're going to talk about some of the lessons you've learned from building out your team, which would be very interesting. And then we've also got the evil bald ninja. Gene is here as well. Gene Volpe. Gene, what's up today?
What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing?
Doing
great.
Excellent.
Now that I get Matt calling you the evil bald ninja as well, which it just makes my day.
Listen, wait. How did he introduce you coming into the show? Did you say what's under his lower third?
Yeah.
I will not dignify that by putting it on air for the people that are listening.
Here's what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'm going to hire a voiceover guy to real estate. Everybody's favorite real estate skanky hoe. It's Greg McDaniel. Yeah. I don't know if Linzee can see that. Can Linzee see what's under?
I can see it. I can see your names. I love it.
I got some dirty laundry. You want it or no?
Yeah. Come on, man.
This is on. So Linzee and I have never met before, right?
Wait a minute. You live like 20 minutes from each other, right?
No, we have met. He's getting there.
No, wait. So, and it's Johnson. This is the reason why you and I hooked up. She connected us.
Oh, that I forgot completely about. Right? I'm so bad.
She's the reason that.
So Linzee's the one to blame.
Yes, exactly. So real quick,
Linzee, you'll receive an evil greeting card in the mail.
So listen, you're going to laugh, right? And any of her family members that are watching this are going to be mortified. But anyway, we're back and forth. We got to connect real quick from a local broker around here. This was a while back, a couple years back. Okay. And she says, catch up with me. So I said, I'll catch up with you. And, time goes by, and I send her a Facebook message. And I'm like, hey, it's Gene, thinking she remembered me. So let's grab some coffee or maybe a drink or something. Well, like 4 days goes by, and I get no response. And I'm like, I can't believe it. So finally, out of the blue, it comes through, and she's like, I'm really, really sorry. I totally forgot who you are. I thought you were trying to go on a date with me. And I'm like, I don't think my wife would appreciate that. No offense, right? But no, I just want to grab coffee.
That's awesome.
That is good. Like, oh, you're not a stalker. My bad.
Yeah, sorry. Whoops. And not that I don't look like one or anything. I get it, but
all I saw was like all the CrossFit stuff, and I was like, wait, who is this guy? Is he in real estate? What's his deal?
Just little old me, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh
We're together now, so.
That's
Oh my
funny.
Yes.
God, that's way too
All right,
funny.
guys. So we got a really good question here that I want to share and have you answer this, Greg, for the audience. So Vic asks, Greg, when you're doing your circle prospecting, how many people call you back? And I know, Greg, you put your connection rate, but I think he's
connection
talking about,
rates.
yeah, how many people actually call you back off of the calls? Because you're leaving messages when you're calling.
Yeah, when it was circled out of my feed before I could read it clearly, and I just answered what I thought he wanted to know. No, so I do not get 150 to 200 people calling me back. I get as my outbound reaches, and I don't know, it really depends. Yesterday, I got a couple of guys calling me back, going, "Hey, you called me." I'm like, "Hey, that's what I'm doing." Like, "Yeah, I'm not selling," and they kept on going. But like I shared on my show yesterday, is that I had a lady earlier this year call me from a year ago. When I left a message, I didn't talk to her. I left her a message, and she called me back. So it's all about building up just the repetitive, iteration of your name, out in the marketplace again and again and again and again and again. So if they hear you, see you, smell you, then they're going to probably, hopefully, latch onto you at some point and want to do some real estate business or have a question that you can answer or something. So I wouldn't focus in on how important it is with people calling you back. It's people hearing your brand, hearing your name, hearing your voice. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I was reading something. What was it? I think it was Pasquale. It was one of his many documents that he's written up for the recruiting industry, which of course is a lot of the same thing as picking up the phone and calling people both on the employer side and the employee side. And he said the only purpose of a voicemail is to leave a positive impression.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more. He says, don't ever expect a call back. Don't discourage when you don't get calls back. If you get one, celebrate, because the only function of a voicemail is just to leave a positive impression, and then the mission is not accomplished until you've actually reached them. A voicemail does not count. So it's just a little bit of, it's just that little soft touch. So
if you do want callbacks though, Lindsay, who was it? There was one of our fellow admin on LGSO, and he was doing some calls, and I was watching him do his calls, and his fucking voice message was epic, dude. It was purely this: "Hey Matt, it's Greg. Give me a call back." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's genius!"
You started trying that.
Did you?
And actually, you get a lot back when you do that, and you don't even say who you are. And I've had people call me that are insurance agents that just want to connect and do that, and I'm like, "Well, what do they want?" And people are like, "I don't know. He just said his name." I'm like, "Okay," and I always call back.
Yep. So, guys, I would completely disregard anything I've ever done in my calls before, and I would just be like, "Hey, it's Greg. When you get a chance, give me a call. Bye." Click. That's it. This phone will light up.
Oh, that's funny.
You'll put your phone number in there too.
Yeah. Yeah. "Hey, it's Greg. Give me a call. 925, 915, 1978. Bye."
There you go, guys. Please feel free to stalk Greg now that he's given his cell phone number out on the air again.
I always do that. 925-915-1978, in case anybody missed it.
That's right. All right, guys. Let's do one more quick call. Then let's do one more quick question. Then I want to jump into Gene, your contribution for the show. Get into your social media and/or tech tips. So, Giangelo Bautista says, for a FSBO call, how would you respond to this? Are you a realtor calling for listings?
Who's supposed to answer that?
Well, Greg, you're the customary first person. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm responding to Brinley. She just said I looked great, so I'm responding to her saying thank you.
Come on now.
And so the question is, are you a real estate agent looking for listings? That's the question.
Yes.
I'll say, yep, I sure am. You think I'm selling?
Okay.
Why mess around, man? I mean, Lindsay, what about you? Are you gonna mess? Are you gonna mess around? Or are you gonna just tell them the truth and just see what they say?
No, you just got to tell them the truth. And I would probably say, are you all right with a business call real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just why dick around? Honestly.
Right. Yep.
You looking for listings? Absolutely. You got one?
You have a friend who has one?
Want to call a friend? Lifeline?
Oh,
no?
man,
Good?
that's funny. Nathan's asking, what is his number again? Nope. You're just going to have to go back and listen to the show on replay. All right. So Yeah, exactly. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. We appreciate it. I expect everyone to text Greg and tell him how much you love his real estate skanky ho lower third on the.
It is. It's not ringing yet, people. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, Greg's feelings are hurt. All right, Gene. So let's get to you for. Why don't you remind people real quick what you do? Since people hear you and see you on the show so much, but we allude to it and we don't actually tell people a lot about what you do. So just remind them, and then let's go into your tip for the day.
I forgot. I had to look at my watch to see what day and time it was because what I do depends on what that is. You know what I mean? So what do? I'm in marketing. So I market for real estate agents, businesses, really anybody. We do a lot of social media, a lot of digital, a lot of online. My expertise is in architecting where your eyeballs need to go, where your client base lives, and how to get to them.
Very cool. All right.
Guys, he's not messing around. He's got me 2 leads last week. And their money.
2 days. In 2 days.
Yes, 2 days. 2 days.
Yeah, let's get it right, Greg.
All
right.
Don't sell me short. Don't sell me short.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't make it seem like it took him 7 whole days to get those 2 leads for you. I mean, come on. That's a Gene. Gene rolls out of bed, falls over, and trips over 2 leads on a morning. I mean, come on. He tripped over 2 of them just on the way to put on his bunny slippers so he could walk across that cold Philadelphia floor.
How about that? This is my lead hat. That's my lead gen hat there.
That's how you shelter yourself from that just the downspout of leads coming down on you.
All the bright lights.
Warm leads. All right, Gene. So what have you got for us today?
So real quick, because Lindsay's got so much better stuff than I do, so I'm going to keep it real quick. Charlie App. You know what Charlie App is?
I do, and I love it.
Yeah, so charlieapp.com, you hook it up to your email, your calendar, and basically what it does, when you set an appointment on your calendar, it will go out and scrape information about the person you're meeting and deliver an email to you prior to your meeting. So you can go real quick and it's just more information on who you're going after. So it'll show you some of their latest posts on their social media accounts, some of their interests, what you and them have in common, and it just gives you a good starting point and maybe something to go off of and to break the ice when you get in front of them. So charlieapp.com.
It's cool. I've been using it for a while, and I get the emails about who I'm going to be meeting with and talking with, and it's been very helpful about going out on CMA appointments. If I can get the information, like a smidgen of information about the human being I'm going to go talk about, then I can subtly build that into the conversation. Like I went out and met with a guy, and he had just gotten some public award about something. And I was able to work it into the conversation when it comes to awards. I'm like, something. I said something. I can't remember how it worked in, but the guy's like, he noticeably picked up like, well, yes, I did get that. Oh, I thought that might be you. Yeah, talk about stroking the ego.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Make that ego purr. When you said that you subtly show like it, I pictured like running across somebody where Charlie shows you that they're a surfer or something like that, and you just show up to their house for a listing appointment armed with a surfboard. That just screams. That's what I picture when Greg doing something subtle. That's for some reason that made me laugh. Anyway,
board shorts and a rash guard and you're with my flip flops and a board. Like, all right, ready to go, player?
Exactly. Okay. Like we're gonna do the listing appointment down at the beach, right? Yeah. I don't need to see the house. Let's just go. All right. All right. So Lindsay, let's turn to you real quick. So we've got a bunch of stuff that we can get into, but I'm just curious, like you went from working for somebody else, building a team underneath them, to now going out on your own into the wide world and building your own team and essentially getting to control everything now. So what are some of the kind of the big lessons you've come away with recently? Just anything that's off the top of your head that you've been thinking and learning as you've been going through this process.
You know what? It's so much easier to spend other people's money, right? Like when you're not the one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been so funny for me because before it'd be like, yeah, let's try this lead source and let's try that because it was somebody else's money, or even when I was partners with somebody, it was kind of like he dealt with the money more than I did. So I was like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's see what happens. And now it's like everything I do, I'm like analyzing it more, and I'm like, well, is this the right thing? And sometimes you just got to pull the trigger. So that's one of the biggest things. And you know what? It's the second thing. I'm going to give you 2. The second thing is I have been hiring Soprani, my own company. I'm hiring them to hire for me because I'm just like everybody else, you know. I go through all of the same things that the agents go through with me. And it's so funny because I sit there and second guess everything, and to have Soprano Consulting, to have them alongside of me doing it, you know, they don't care as much as I do. So it's been really a funny thing, knowing that I now need to hire myself to hire.
I'm like, hire to hire to hire.
That's funny. Well, so a quick comment on the first one. One of the things that I got a kick out of, in fact, I hung out with Frank from Viral Marketing here this past weekend. I was reminding him of him telling me this, and it brought this up again. So years ago when I was working for him, he told me, when it comes to marketing, especially copywriting, you will never be, he said, and like Frank does, Johnson, you will never be as good as I am because I'm spending my own money. And that always stuck with me. And of course, now that I'm on my own, I know exactly what he means, because every marketing activity, everything you do for sales, everything that you read, it gets into your nervous system at such a deeper level, because you're spending your own money, and your own income directly rides on the outcome of what you write or do or say or think or spend the money on. It's completely different.
Yeah, see, I think about it completely the opposite direction. I'm like, fuck it, man. You know what? If I get it for $10, what if I give you 1,000? What do I get for 1,000? And my Eileen is always, pulling the rug out from underneath me, going, we're not spending that. And I'm like, damn it. And Johnson sent me over a link yesterday for a product, and it wasn't a cheap product. And my first response is like, fuck it. All right, let's roll. And I'm like, hold on, Johnson, are you going to actually do it? Yes, Greg, that's why I sent it over to you. Okay, Johnson, go for it.
Yeah, so you're a little bit more frivolous.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah, that's all right. Gene, how do you feel about that?
So
You're doing a little bit of both.
Yeah, I am. But did I just hear McDaniel say he wanted to pay me more for my services? Is that what
I don't think you heard that.
No, because that's sort of what it sounded like. I'm not gonna lie. It's $100. Here's 1,000. That's what I heard. You'll be getting an invoice, McDaniel.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay. So then let's go to the second lesson you learned. So how important it is to. So you've learned all this stuff about hiring. Yeah. In the process of doing it yourself, and then you're realizing that leading a team, you get bogged down in all the same little mental. So what have you noticed? Like, what are some of the things that trip you up as a team leader now, even though you know the exact systematic hiring process, you know exactly what to look for? Why is it so hard to run it yourself versus like just having somebody else do it for you?
Yeah, right. So I'm a high D, so we just love to skip the process. We're really good at that, right? And we're like, oh, this person's gonna be great. And we fall in love really fast, and then it's like, that's it. And it's funny how I want that person so yesterday, and I fall in love with somebody so fast, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Because I can talk myself through it, but yet here I am making all the same mistakes. So it's really to slow me down, right? They'll take me through the process, and it's hilarious because I'm probably one of their worst customers.
You're their own worst customer. That's actually truly funny, because I'm like you. I'm a high D. It's just like, I want it yesterday. You're amazing. Oh my God. And then what the fuck? Holy shit. Who hired that? Huh?
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and every time I don't follow the system that we have, I get burned, and it's so funny. And I will tell you too, there are a lot of times that I don't follow my own gut, and like I'd be one to say that like that's how I make hires and that's how I've been so successful, and yet, when it's for me, there are times when I'm like, well, I really like that person though. I don't think they'll make it work, even though I'm watching everything up there on their timeline, and I'm thinking, well, but there's a lot of negative stuff there, but that's okay this time, right? And I would normally be so much pickier for my other clients, and I'm not as picky for myself. So it's been interesting.
Well, yeah, because you feel the pain of not having someone right then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So true, man. It's tough. It's tough because we don't really usually look at hiring until we until we're really hurting. We don't, because we're not planning ahead. We're in the business and we're trying to just to keep it going.
Yep.
And so we're not thinking very far ahead. And so we're always kind of hiring at the last minute. And then you start to feel the pain. You're like, oh my God, I just need to get this stuff off my plate. As long as they can get it off my plate, I'm fine. I don't care if they can move up to the next thing. Like, I don't care if they have longer term potential. Just get this the hell off my plate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It is crazy how easy it is to just jump in and be like, yeah, my sister's available or whoever, and we do that and without really thinking. And I would say too, along with that is just something that I haven't done well for myself too, which is hilarious because I preach this all the time, is setting the expectations. Having really serious conversations up front, and just being like, hey, these are the numbers and this is what we've got to hit, period. And I've been really lenient for myself. So it's, I just hired more people so that they could do all of that stuff for me because they're better at it.
Nice. Well, speaking of hiring people because they're better at it, Gene, you are much, much better at digital marketing than most of us, and definitely than most agents. So I just want to encourage people. So where can they connect with you so that we can let you go for the day?
Actually, this week we're just send me an email. I'm doing 30-minute digital online reviews for your audience this week. So just send me an email at genevolpe@gmail.com.
Really?
Or just go to my website, genevolpe.com, and fill out the contact form, and I'll be happy to get with you. Is that all right with you?
Man, we're going to have to rename you #Generous Gene.
Generous Gene, I like it. But I wanted to ask Linzee a question before I went, and then maybe it'll spiral into something else. But because she does all this hiring, I'm in the process of doing some of this stuff too, and I find, aside from being too nice, which I heard a little bit of you saying, right?
Yeah.
Do you find you find it difficult to hire people that are not like you? So in other words, I find that when I hire somebody that I'd rather have a drink with than somebody that I could yell at. And so my business suffers because we have the same strengths, and the stuff I was missing before still isn't getting done because they can't do it either.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? Agents are notorious for that, just so you know, because we all want to hire salespeople because they're fun and they're just like us, but we actually need the exact opposite most times. So yeah, it's super easy to hire yourself because you like yourself, Gene.
That's true. They tell me that. They do tell me that. Yeah.
I know what, instead of an emotional punching bag, which I use, Matt is my emotional punching bag. I'm gonna have to hire Lindsay. Can you help me hire someone I can actually verbally abuse here on location, so Matt can be spared that in the future?
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Greg, I poked, like you poke the bear and I poke back. So like I'm not the best emotional punching bag because I get back and I hit back.
Like, dude, pop.
Yeah, you need someone that's purely a punching bag. Lindsay, where can we find a punching bag for Greg?
Big Five.
You can go to CrossFit. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Greg needs to join the gym. Get in the gym, and I mean get in the ring with somebody. Get a sparring partner or something.
Fuck no, dude. This is the moneymaker, dude. This is the moneymaker. I can't do that.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh, I love it.
All right, Gene.
Too seriously.
Well, first of all, thank you for the digital media review and stuff like that. And so it's genevolpe@gmail.com. That's how they reach you and get a hold of you and get something on your calendar.
That's good, man. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Lindsay, I think it might be time for a limoncello date.
Yes, we need to do that. Andrew just said we're going to get some cheesesteaks too, I think. Andy did.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine by me. All right, you guys have a good weekend.
All right, thanks, Gene. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so Andy Shearer is watching here. He says, just like Lindsay and Gene, we'd be rolling in cheesesteaks in Philly.
Hell to the yes.
And Benji, who's watching the show right now, is in Philly too, and he has a great question, which is what's a high D? Lindsay, you want to take that one just real quick?
Yes, that is in the disc. It's funny. I talk so much about that now that I need to remember to talk through that. But yeah, so the disc is it analyzes your personality, and the high Ds are dominant, decisive, all those wonderful D words, but they're going to make decisions fast. They tend to be the entrepreneurs of our world, and they are definitely salespeople as well. And then you've got the I, which is, that friendly, wonderful person that can talk to everybody. You're the ones that you throw into a party and they make friends with everybody, come away with everybody's phone number. Most people have D and I in them if they're in sales. And then you've got the S and the C, and that tends to be our admin world. The S is the steady eddies of the world, and they are they have a calming effect. That's who goes alongside of Greg's. They're like, I call them the mother bears. Like they're the ones that come in between the I's and the D's and are like, he didn't mean to do that, and she didn't mean to be emotional or whatever. So they talk through that. And then you've got the C's, who are like the super analytical people. They are going to keep us on track. They're super organized perfectionists. So we need a little bit of all of that in the world, right? Especially in the business world.
Oh God. Yeah, I think my team manager is high D, high, was it S? All like super organized.
Yeah.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
DC.
Yeah, I was thinking Eileen might be a DC.
No, she is organized galore, dude. I mean, she comes in and like sets everything up by color, by alphabetical, by numerical. I mean, she's always cleaning the place. She always wants more than A to B, C to D, the whole nine. And I'm like, willy-nilly running around with my shirt off and my hair on fire in here. And she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna shoot this human. And that's the salesperson in me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and that's the thing. If you're nice and messy and your stuff's everywhere, you're probably a little bit in the sales world. And then if you're nice and clean and organized and your car is really clean, you're probably in the admin world, right?
Dude, I'm getting eaten by stacks of paper in my desk. Literally, they're crowding me into this little crevice of a workspace.
Everything is, right? It's like, okay, this stuff, I have to do that stuff.
Oh yeah, this is my to-dos. These are the dones. I don't know what the hell these are over here, but I'm putting there until I figure them out.
Yeah.
But hey, it's sales, man. This is how it goes. But the rest of the office is like pristine. I'm like this messy slob. But I'm always on anything here, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, and so Marta, who's watching, says, "I'm a high S and C and a new agent. How do I make this work for me?" That is an excellent question. First of all, go sign up for Getting Out Business, because the stuff that we teach in that is the stuff at an S and C. It's like a fish in water for you. I mean, there are specific tactical things that you can do that are much better at fitting that personality type, and that's 100% what that whole live course is about. So check that out. But just in general, and then Lindsay, I want to get your perspective on it, because you've seen, and what's interesting about it is when you get down to it, yes, a lot of the top salespeople are DIs, but there are some really good team leaders and brokers and owners out there that have a lot of the SC in them, because it takes that to be organized, to build a team, to be disciplined and structured, and all this stuff that actually goes into running a successful business. If it's not a strength, it ends up being a lot of times something you have to develop and force on yourself, right? So I'm curious about what your perspective is on that part of it.
Yeah, the SCs of the world that end up in sales, they're super organized. So the biggest hurdle with them is to, they would much rather sit there and like fool with Facebook or like organize a file or do something like that than jump on the phone like Greg does every day without even thinking about it, right? And so the SCs can still do it. They're very organized about it. They just have to count it down and get in there and jump on the phones, and they're going to have to be really organized about that too. But the beautiful thing is lead generation, and Greg, you probably could speak to this too, but the more that you document and the more that you say, well, I had this conversation and this is how it went, the better you're going to do in the long run. So I would say really get in there and just make sure that you schedule time to lead gen still, but keep your great notes and you should be good.
Yeah, but don't get ready to get ready. Don't make notes for your notes, right? Just get the fuck in there and start doing shit. Because otherwise you're going to be like, okay, so I'm going to analyze this again, but I don't see any business. Like, bitch, just start making a damn phone call.
Yes.
I had to do that to, I call her Blondie. She was with our team, Jane. She's no longer with us because guess who didn't make any phone calls? She got scared to do them. She got ready to get ready. And she ultimately failed out. And I feel so bad for her because she had the potential to be a great agent, but action was never taken. Lindsay, you get asked this all the time. They're like, well, what should I do to just, to start, making leads? I mean, I just got started. I'm like, here's a stack of cards. Go out the front door, turn left. Here's another stack of cards. Go out, turn right. That's it, guys. That's it. And you don't have to be a high D or a high I to be really successful in real estate. In SNSC, I mean, an SNSC personality is going to resonate with people that a DI won't. Like they look at a DI and I'm a freight train coming at them.
Right.
And they want someone softer and more, gentle and willing to listen. And you'll have plenty of business, but you've got to take action to meet those people. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So stick to your schedule and don't deviate. If it says 1 o'clock, you make calls. At 12:30, you make the list. At 1 o'clock, you get on the calls. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah, be organized. And Rob St. John says Tim Heil is a massively successful high C. That is a great that is a great example of that. Absolutely. Yep. Super successful on the phones. I mean, Tim Heil got to be where he is by cold prospecting and teaching his entire team to cold prospect, even though he's not a naturally, if you ever met him in person, he's not a naturally high I personality. He's not a super people person. He's not the life of the party type. So yeah, it is possible, Marta. It is possible for anybody to make this business work because you can structure it any way you want and you can structure it around your strengths. But yeah, like Greg said, it's all about, it comes down to like conversations are the lifeblood of all of our businesses. If we're in charge of lead generation, it's all about conversations. If all we do is plan to have them and never have them, then nothing happens.
Right.
And I'm not a huge planner. I mean, I just jump. I've done it all the time, and it seemed to have worked out pretty well because the worst case scenario if you jump is that you might get banged up along the way, but eventually you'll land on success if you keep trying, just plowing through it like a bull in a china shop. But yes, there is something to be said about having finesse and tact and going at it with a game plan, or just storm the beaches and just see if you don't get hit by bullets or how many you can withstand before you go down. But I mean, so what? You go back and you restart again at with a better game plan. That's the worst case scenario. I mean, just go. Anyways, we beat that horse to death.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So Linzee, anything, what are some of the other lessons, just some of the things that you've been working on lately in your team? And let's talk about the lead generation side maybe a little bit. What are you seeing that's working for your team, especially since you're bringing on agents and you're having to teach them how to generate leads yourself basically versus, just managing a team?
Yeah. We, so lead gen for us is, man, right now it's an all day thing. I think Greg would say the same thing, but if we don't have somewhere that we're going to be, we're on the phones all day long. And my team's so good at it. Even my admin, who's an SC, she's so cute. She jumps in there and will do whatever she can. She'll text people and email, and she'll even make calls. So we're an all-day lead gen team. That's primarily what we do, and we're hitting the phones with Mojo. And we used to use Vulcan, but Mojo now, and we've got Seize the Market that has it built in there already. And man, we're just making any call that we can. And so we have Bold Leads, which I think Greg you use as well, right?
I don't use Bold anymore. I did use Bold. Bold is actually an offshoot of Prime Seller. And what my team member John back over here, if he was here today, he uses Bold. And the biggest issue with Bold, and Linzee, correct me if I'm wrong, is like be ready for an onslaught of leads.
Yes, it's a lot.
Yeah, Prime Seller, Bold. I mean, and even just have systems in place, people.
Yes, well, and that's what we like about it, right? They have funnels and everything already there, and that is one of the best systems I've seen for bringing seller leads in, because that's what you want to work the most. So, we have that. We have a number of different systems that we're using, like ZBuyer, and so we're calling all of those. But again, I mean, we're very diligent about those circle calls too, right? So we're going to call that whole neighborhood if we have an open house, and we're going to call the whole neighborhood to say that we have a new listing coming on. And, we're going to be really diligent about all those things. And we have plans for all of them. And it's really organized. It's organized lead gen, right?
Yeah.
There's never a time, I don't think, that anybody doesn't know who to call, because you can pick up the phone and call anybody. It's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Mojo actually makes it really easy by drawing the circles and stuff. And I love the neighborhood search on there. So that's the reason why we switched to it.
Yeah, use that all the time. And I'm so glad there's another agent out there, another team out there that, I mean, when people ask me, what should I do with my day? I'm like, if you don't have an appointment set, put your ass down in the chair and start dialing to get your butt out there and start knocking, or go to a networking event and start meeting people. Do not sit there and twirl your thumbs, stare at Facebook, and hope to God your phone's going to ring, because no matter how much you love that phone, it's not going to ring. Even if you give it, you bat your eyes at it and you blow it kisses, it's not going to ring. Okay. You need to get out and start making proactive actions.
Yeah.
And people are like, got to call all day. I'm like, well, what the fuck else are you going to do with the day? Sit there and just do nothing? I had this one chick. I got to tell this story. There's this one gal years and years ago. Her marketing, her proactive marketing plan to get leads was to watch YouTube videos. Let that sink in for a minute. Yeah, that was it. Just watch YouTube videos. And I'm like, oh my God. You need a helmet in the morning when you get out of bed, don't you?
Yeah. And I think that well, and you guys can let me know what you think, but we have a I'm on the phone all day. That's all I'm doing is making calls and whether I'm talking to inbound leads or outbound, I'm on the phone all day. And so that's my culture and everybody here does it. And I think it is a cultural thing. It for sure is a cultural thing. So we've had people that we've brought in that really did not want to sit there and lead gen. And it just didn't work because everybody else on the team is like, well, what is that person doing? What are they doing all day? And it just becomes funky. So I don't care if you're writing cards all day long or using send out cards to send cards and brownies or, do something that would be considered lead gen. And I have a agent who is like, she's brilliant on Facebook and she is methodical about it. I mean, she has tons of really great leads that come from there. But she's working her sphere in there and she's calling as well. But man, she messages on a regular basis and she knows exactly what to say and she asks people for business and boom, it comes.
Yeah.
And so
imagine that.
Something. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys don't like doing phone calls, I mean, Lindsay, you brought up a perfect segue on this thing. You know what? I have a girl, actually, she's now, 3+ years. God, it makes me old. And they grow up so fast. My training, Matt's like one eyebrow cocked. What? What do you mean grow up fast? No, but she was a trainee in my J Rockcliffe when I was the head trainer here. And she came in first year in, didn't know what to do. She just moved up for her then boyfriend, now husband. And dude, all she did is just sent Facebook messages. She had a goal to do like 10 properties her first year, did 18 in 6 months. Yep. From doing Facebook messages. And that is prospecting. Okay.
That wouldn't be right. It's not my first choice. Like phone is, you're going to just do better with that. But man, I mean, I told you she's methodical about it. Like every couple of days, it's like, hey, do you know of anybody? And she just comes right out and says it. And because she's warmed them up to it, they feed her that way. It's quite amazing. So, and she has a cool presence on Facebook, like she'll take pictures and she'll be like, be like Danny. Danny went out and bought his first home for $100,000 and he's fixing it up and he's flipping it and be like Danny. And she'll take a picture and she'll snap it. And then she's good at it, she works it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. That's awesome. And it's funny because I'm going through here on the LGSO group, just looking at questions, and you guys are answering questions before I can get to them. Does anybody have a killer Facebook message blast I can send out? Do any of your admin assistants lead generate? Got that one before I could bring it. So you're really harsh and my mellow here, guys, because I'm trying to bring you guys questions, and you keep stepping on them and answering
Lindsay,
them before I can.
Let's keep this up. We're like telepathically communicating. This is beautiful.
Pipe down over there, Greg. I've got a good one for you.
Lindsay, what am I thinking?
I know, I love it.
Oh my God. All right, so Eli in the Bay Area has a good question for you. This is great for you, Greg. Seller objection. I'd really like to sell, but where am I going to move? Everything is so expensive right now.
I tell them not to move.
We saw that on the lead gen yesterday. I think you put that on the lead gen an objection page.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I do with that is I ask them what where would they want to move? Do they want to stay in the area? Do they want to, take the equity out and go start doing, investment buys? But that's going to be a massively hard objection to get around, because if there's not a need, then there's no way you're going to push them out of the house. Now, there's two different sides. You can't push a seller out of a home, but you can draw them out of a home. Okay. And if there's a bigger need on that side for them to come to you and get out of that home, maybe it's a 2-story and they need a single story and they're legitimately just asking you, well, where am I going to go? Everything's expensive. well, no, Matt, help me understand why you are even considering making a move. Are you even considering making a move? Yeah, my knees are hurting. My kids fall through the second story all the time. Those little fat bastards. You know what? And I keep having to put them in leg splints because they break their legs falling down. And any of you guys don't know that joke, I'm sorry. You gotta go back and watch more episodes where I make fun of Matt's fake kids.
Yeah.
But once I find the issue, then it's okay. Like, I had one lady go off on me the other day. She's like, fuck California, blank this, blank that, blank this, blank that, blank this, blank that. I'm moving to Washington. I'm like, bon voyage. How can I help you? She's like, I already moved. I'm like, ah, damn it. But you know what? She wanted to go. She sold her home and complained about the pricing, but she wanted to have more freedoms to do more. She's a hunter, so she wanted to have more guns, which I'm a gun guy too. So, I can understand it. She wanted more affordability, so she just moved up north, and so that pain was there big enough for her, so was able to get her out of here. But what to do if it's too expensive? Tell them to stay put. I mean, you could waste your breath all day with that human being. You're not going to get anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but you're
Yeah.
just
gotcha. Yeah, just the motivation isn't strong enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about motivation a little bit, because Linzee, you deal with this on the hiring side with the consulting. That's one of the things that's probably toughest to have that conversation about, especially if you really if you connect with them and you want to build rapport and stuff like that. Like, you're going through that interview process, and you sometimes forget to really dig into their motivation. So how do you kind of build that into the process and force yourself to ask those questions, and how do you get kind of deeper into what motivates somebody so that either are they a good candidate, and if they are, know which buttons to push when they come in?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, anybody can sit there and say that they want to make $1 million or whatever to you, right? The reality is talent will show itself if you're talking about their life. And so we love to do the life story interview, is what I call it, at the end of the process, when we have a couple people that we really like, normally 2 people. And, we want to see what they've done in their life. And the reality is talent will continue to get increases in pay no matter where they go, right? Or they're making job changes to get more money. You will see that they are consistently being elevated to the next level in the business, and they're when they talk through it, they're always going to have amazing things that have been happening. Now, they might have those things that were horrible and taught them huge lessons too. We all have that stuff, right? And we actually talk through that in the beginning. Sometimes I'll even share like something that was really horrible for me, like the one time I got fired or whatever. And I'll explain like, hey, the reality is we're not hiring, you, the great interviewer. We're hiring you, the person. And I want to know how you became you and how you came to be sitting in front of me. So that means that hard things might have happened to you too. And that's okay. We just have to talk about them. And most of it you should see, like I said, you should see this elevated kind of job track, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've continued to exceed everybody's expectations.
Yeah, I like that. That's good track record of success and achievement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it's hard to find the fire in the belly is a big thing that you need when you're doing sales, especially. And I think that truthfully, you don't know until you get somebody in. And that's really that expectation thing, right? Getting them actually into the job and having them start, and whether they're an ISA or whatever, seeing how they're going to operate there. You have to be really quick to fire if it's just not the right hire, and that's okay. So now we write in there like, hey, you have a 60-day trial period. That's what this is. That's all we're offering, and here's what the pay is, and then it goes up once you hit these milestones. That's a big change that I've made. It used to be like, here, let me give you everything, and then hopefully you'll be really great. Well, it's just not the case. I want them to prove it now. And a lot of people you would hear time and time again, that's, I think, where agents have, they've gone wrong in their business. And then once they started changing that mindset of like, I'm going to bring you on and you have 60 days to show me what you've got, and then we'll proceed. The ones that got that really fast are the ones that are really, taking off, I think.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm actually going to use Linzee to use as a hiring guide for my next person on my team, because I epically suck. I'm just like what we were talking about in the beginning, like, hey, hugs and kisses, let's hang out, you're awesome. But then there was one dildo baggins that I actually had to pay to leave. The guy's so fucking tard. To pay him $800 to leave. That was the worst hire I've ever done, and I don't ever want to do that again. So I'm going to the grandmaster Linzee of all hiring needs, in the world to hire for my team and for what Matt, you and I are building and everything else, because we all get
what position are you talking about, Greg?
Janitor.
Admin? Janitor. What's about damn time, Greg? Come on now.
That's a promotion.
You think all this stuff is going to clean itself up? Man.
You get 2 mops, not 1, 2.
Edward Scissor Mops.
Awesome. Tell me what you guys think about this. So I was I was at a conference a little while ago, and somebody was saying that what they do with their salespeople is they bring all of their final candidates in, and they all think that they're having a one-on-one interview, right? But they put them all in a room, and they ask them all the same questions, and they're all listening to each other's answers, and they see who fights for the job the most and who's the one who's really competitive. And I sat there and I thought, I was like, gosh, if somebody did that to me, what would I do? And I'm pretty sure I'd fight pretty hard, and I would one up that person as much as I could. Don't you think you would?
Hell yeah.
It's like the sales octagon. Many enter, one leaves.
That's right. So I heard about a guy that would do that. He would bring in as many as 50, but it was typically like 15 to 20 people. Like he would hold recruiting nights in his office. This is in the Midwest, and so they'd have a lot of potential agents. And so he would come in, and he would do. If I remember right, he'd do like a short presentation to the group, and then he would leave and then watch to see how they interact. And he's looking, and he would only bring back 2, and then he'd come out and just announce that, hey, all the rest of you can go home, you and you. I want to talk to you, and then he'd bring them and do like a one-on-one with each of them or something like that. He would watch the group dynamics to figure out who's an actual leader, and not just who's a high D by themselves, but who's a high D in a room full of high Ds.
Right.
Yeah. I love that. And that's not easy to do, Greg. I think we're both 99D. I don't know how we get along. It's a wonder we don't strangle each other.
We live in different parts of the state, and we're limited to be around each other. That's why.
That's right. We're a 9-hour drive. That's the only way we get along.
I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch. But I get there. Dude, I'm fucking tired, man. Can I take a nap on your couch, bro? Oh, sure, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's funny.
But it is. I mean, yeah, I love that whole idea of bringing everyone into a room, watching the dynamics, because the natural leader will rise to the top. Absolutely. Right. They'll be the one organizing things. They'll be the ones ordering lunch. They'll be the ones doing this or doing that. The sheep will sit back. The lions will step forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't want sheep. I got enough fucking sheep. Woolly little bastards. What questions you got, Matt?
Let's do one more.
Yeah.
So this is from Matt Harper in the LGSO group. It says, I just took a listing this afternoon from an expired listing. Happy to get the listing, but unfortunately it was quite a task considering agents were calling this person at 6 a.m. Could anyone give any objection handling ideas on how to combat against agents that are calling so early? It seems like we're losing professionalism as a whole because of these few bad apples.
Linzee, I'm going to defer to you.
Just sip your coffee.
Ladies first.
I'm going to give you a bad answer. Well, I'm going to give a bad answer for what he thinks. But you know what? Kudos to the person who's trying to call at 6 in the morning.
I knew it was going there.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that I don't want anybody calling me at least until 8. So I'm having a hard time with it. But the reality is, listen, most of the time, the first person that gets to them gets it. If they're good enough, they're going to get it. And, if somebody's upset about it, I think really my go-to answer for a lot of that stuff, and I always tell my team, is like, well, don't you wish that you had somebody on your team selling your home who is actively calling even at 6 in the morning because they are like trying to get it sold? Like, don't you want somebody that committed to be working for you? And that's my go-to.
It's 0 dark 30. If you call me that early in the morning, it's not going to be a pleasant experience for you. And I don't think he should be worrying about the professionalism, because he already got the listing, right? So it's like worrying about your hot girlfriend. It's like, oh, why are other guys looking at it? Be like, dude, don't worry, you already got the girl. It's like, don't worry, you already got the listing. You obviously did something that guy or that gal didn't do. So forget about it. Just move forward. Just keep on doing what you do, pal, because obviously you're professional enough for that seller.
No, yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
he
and that's
got
true.
the listing? I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. Okay.
But it doesn't matter, because it's he's going to keep on prospecting expireds, and I think they're looking for an objection handler for the next call, not for his own listing. It's for the next calls. And I think you have to, I mean, we all know this. We need to meet people where they're at in terms of what their emotional state is. So if they get emotional about it, we get emotional about it, get on the same level, and then we can kind of back them down. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to handle that. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have to meet them where they're at least initially, and get angry with them. And then, then you can move on.
You're right, sir. How dare I call you this early? What a bastard I am. Honey, punish me later. Okay, now let's get back to this. Would you like to sell?
Talking about when you call at a reasonable hour and they say, oh, you agent. They've been calling me since 6 a.m. Like, really? Seriously? Somebody called you at 6 a.m.? Are you kidding me? That is the earliest I've ever heard of an agent waking up ever. I don't know who that was. I don't know what their malfunction is, but they're up way earlier than any agent I've ever heard of.
Oh,
I don't know why are they on the phone at that hour? It's horrible.
Oh,
I don't know why they're doing that. I'm so sorry. I apologize on behalf of all the entire profession
and humanity. And
are you still looking to sell?
Of my gender, yes. Howard said that he would shoot a real estate agent if they called him that early. And Howard, knuckles to you, player, because I would definitely be both barrels blasting with you.
Others love it.
Oh my God, guys. All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. That was the last question I've got for you. You systematically eliminated every other question I had for you before I could bring it. So, Linzee, how do people reach out to you to learn a little bit more about what you do, and then let people know kind of where you're at so they can keep your team in mind for referrals too?
Yeah, I would love that. We're in Westchester, Pennsylvania, so Chester County in general, outside of Philadelphia, for real estate needs. And then for Soprani Consulting, you can email me at info, so INFO, at sopraniconsulting.com, and that's CIPRANI. And then we have, sopraniconsulting.com that you can go to for more information. So
cool. Awesome. Greg, do you have anything to say about Getting Out Business?
I do, Matt. That is why I'm grabbing the link right now. I'm putting it in there, guys. Getting Out Business. We are filling up for the August 9th launch, guys. So next week on Tuesday, we are launching this biznatch. And we are getting darn near full. So if you guys are looking to Getting Out Business, learn how to no door knocking, no cold calling. So everything you've heard on this podcast, completely forget about it and go to gettingoutbusiness.com, and you'll learn how not to do anything that we do on a daily basis. But it is really an opportunity. Matt and I put together another program, and it was all cold calls and door knocks. And we found a lot of people were just not digging it. So we took that all apart. We tore it apart. We put it back together in a different packaging, in a different box, and took out the cold calls and door knocks. And we started looking at ways that you can find business that's literally right in front of your face. You just don't know what to look for. And we'll take the blinders off. We'll show you where to look. And people that are in these classes, guys, they are getting business now. One of the guys just got $1 million listing from one of his coworkers from a past business that he, totally forgot about. Called the dude up, like, hey, homeboy, what's up? Not much. Cool. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety schmack. Yeah, you still thinking about selling your home? Sure am. Sweetness. Boop. Locked it down. Wasn't quite the exact conversation verbiage-wise. But, but it is there, guys. We do this. I said do again. We do. I just like seeing Matt get irritated. It's like, why, Daniel? But we do this for you guys because it's something that I think the S's and the C's, not the D's and the I's, would prefer not have to go talk with another humanoid face to face, but they'd rather do it over some other device. So Getting Out Business, the link is in there. Matt, put the bow on it and make it sound all good and stuff with like logic and stuff.
Wow. All right, guys, let's make sure to follow both of us on Facebook. Do not friend us. Follow us. The wrong F will get you sent to a Facebook friend purgatory. So make sure to follow us. Make sure that notifications are turned on for the live broadcast, especially on Greg's profile. You can also follow me and see the broadcast that I'm doing, all about how to transition from growing a rock star company to a UX business, where most of the value is delivered by people and systems and not by your own personal effort and energy. So that's what I talk about. We're also launching the UX podcast, where we're interviewing successful coaches, consultants, and speakers. So if you are one of those, or if you know one and they have a business worth featuring, please let me know. Shoot me a message on Facebook, because I'd love to interview them. And so that's going to be on Friday mornings before this show. And so you'll see that coming. Hank Avink from National Coaching League is going to be the guest next Friday. We've got a new website redesign is just about to hit for reuncensored.com. So you've got like highlights and all new graphics and stuff like that. You've probably seen a little smattering of that come across Facebook, the new style. The whole website is being redesigned. Met with Leslie, our esteemed producer, about that this morning. She's been hard at work, slaving until her fingers are just little nubs, little bony nubs, just coding behind the scenes to get that website ready. So anyway, guys, we got a lot of cool stuff happening. Make sure to go to reuncensored.com to check all that out. And that is the bow that I have placed upon this episode.
That's awesome. Lindsay, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And the rest of you guys, peace out, ninjas. We gone.